This is what I wanted to talk about. So everybody likes to make everything about race. Everybody likes to make everything about race. You know what I noticed? When I was nice, y'all took my kindness for weakness. Over these last couple of months, y'all turned on me. Over these last couple of months, y'all turned on me. Y'all disagreed with everything that I said because you decided that you wanted to embrace the villain era. And so you think that just because I'm trying to turn a new leaf and because I'm on Fox News, that I'm that far removed. And so now you smell blood in the water. You smell blood in the water. But I got a harpoon. I got a harpoon. Yeah, you took my kindness for weakness. You thought that it was sweet over here. Ain't nothing sweet. I ain't no different. I'm just trying to get that other bag. I'm just trying to get that other bag. You think that it's okay to be in your villain era, but I'm going to learn you something in 2025. I'm going to learn you something in 2025. Yeah, you're going to get this work. Let's get into it.
I think it is revealed that there is some elasticity in the party on its ability to debate the immigration issue. Certainly, there are hardliners on immigration who have supported Donald Trump. He himself has been a hardliner, but he has also said repeatedly, publicly,
Do not time out anybody that is not being overly disrespectful inside of the chat. We are not an echo chamber. Let people get their thoughts off. Let them be sassy.
That he wants immigration reform, that he wants to do something for the Dreamers. He has also talked about the need for people to come in to the country to do certain kinds of things. And then you have these other new supporters of Donald Trump who understand that if you're just recruiting like the top 0.1% of the best and most talented, say engineers from around the world, that's probably a good thing. I think where there's great alignment is on the need to eliminate the fraud in the program. And I think some of these visa programs are being used to bring people in for no other reason than to displace American workers and to do things more cheaply. So I think the common ground and the way forward is bring in the people who are the goats, of engineering from around the world. Bring those people here and then focus on American workers, American students for everything else. And that would be a good blend of how I think this is going to move forward.
That might be the case, but Laura Loomer is saying don't bring Indians into America. I mean, she's pretty clear about what she's doing.
I don't know if she's watched many Bollywood movies, but not only are they very good, but they're actually a lot more modest than Hollywood films. So that comment was a little bit off base, but I think what we're calling the tech right versus the MAGA right is really a long-standing split in the Republican Party between libertarians and conservatives. The Republican Party has been holding together those two groups for a long time, and they agree on about 70, 80% of stuff. This is a thing they've always disagreed on. Libertarians value economic growth and efficiency and free markets above all else. Conservatives go halfway there, but at the end of the day, will side with protecting American workers from foreign competition. So, you have to give credit to Donald Trump for holding those two coalitions together throughout the entire campaign so that this fissure didn't actually come to light until after they won. And now you're seeing it come to light.
So where did the significant contingent of ethno-nationalists fall within the conservatism and libertarianism frame? I mean, to me, that doesn't necessarily fit within either of those two. And I think it is a significant thing within the MAGA coalition. But it also, this debate reveals something broader. You've got, I think, a very incoherent MAGA coalition for years now, where you've got business elites driving the policy discussion, setting the policy agenda, as working class people are oftentimes getting screwed. I mean, the top priority for this incoming administration is going to be tax cuts for the wealthy.
I knew he was sassy. I knew it immediately because he ain't got no lineup. Whenever I see dudes that get up there and they start talking like this and they ain't got no lineup and they got black around their eyes, I already know they sassy. The agenda for the Republican Party is not to have tax cuts for the rich. It's to spur economic activity within the economy that allows for everybody to benefit, but for us to also continue to remain number one in the powerhouse in the world in everything that we do, including science and engineering, as well as finance and culture. It's always the same thing. They always go back to the same thing. Listen, how much did y'all benefit from the Kamala Harris Biden administration over the last 3.5 years? I'm just trying to understand it. How's Maryland doing with all of the overtaxing that's happening down there? Because I know they in a deficit. How's California faring right now? How's Illinois making out right now? All of those states are in a deficit and they think that they can tax their way to wealth. And that is not what success looks like when it comes to American culture. It's stupid. He falls right off the bandwagon and he goes right to his liberal agenda. And I don't even know who this guy is. What's his name? Mondare Jones? Democrat, former New York congressman. Yeah, I figured that. That's why they got him up out of there.
And we now see this conversation about immigration not even taking shape the way that white working class people thought it would.
So
But I
you,
think-
so
It is taking away. That's why they get into deportations. As soon as Trump get into office, he got Tom Homan on deck. Tom Homan is on deck. How was immigration? How was the conversation about immigration not taking place the way that they wanted it to?
I may ask a question, Madison. So you think working class people have been screwed by the immigration policy of the last 4 years where people are coming into the country and displacing American workers?
No, so I don't agree with the framing of that, actually.
I'm just asking because you said it. I just wonder how they're being screwed.
No, I didn't. I
How are they
said
being
white
screwed?
working class people are being screwed by the Republican Party, whose top priority is tax cuts for billionaires and for billion-dollar
But
corporations.
you would agree that the flood of immigration has also screwed working class people.
Opposing minimum wage increases, opposing universal child care, and
This is so
efforts to
stupid.
expand health care.
We're
to
talking
make it
about
more
immigration.
affordable.
But
We're
hang
talking about
on,
immigration.
if I may, but Scott and Mondare, I mean, I actually think we're veering way off course here because
I hate this
the
moderator.
thing
Let
that Donald
them fight.
Trump
Let them get it off. This moderator is trash.
apparently ran on predominantly is stopping the flow of illegal immigration into
Yes.
the country. When we talk about H-1B visas, we're talking about 85,000 a year of legal immigrants.
Correct. This is not illegal migrants coming into the country, flooding in over the border. These are people that apply for visas, and it is a cap on how many you can have inside of the country or that they're going to issue on a yearly basis. This is not a flood of people that are coming into the country. This is not millions of people. This is a cap. And if you get to a certain level as far as a doctorate degree, then you can get an extra 20,000 people that are able to get these H-1B visas that then pay taxes inside of the United States of America while at the same time advancing whatever it is that they do for a living in our technology. Why wouldn't you want those? If we want the best and brightest and we want to lead the rest over to everywhere else. As a matter of fact, listen, I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better, okay? I believe that we should do exactly what these other countries did over the last 3.5, 4 years. I believe that we need to send the dusties of America and we need to get them all passports and let them become passport sisters and passport bros. I believe that we need to take everybody that is dusty in America and we need to figure out how they can become passport sis and passport bros. We need to be sending them to other countries to go up there and mess up what they got going on. We need to take the best of what of everybody that's here, keep them, continue to help them and put our tax dollars to work for the people that's in the United States of America. We need to then get the best of what's out there so we can bring all of the talent here in the United States of America. And we need to send all of these dusty people. When people say, yeah, man, that's why we gonna date out. When women come up and they say, yeah, man, black men ain't this is why I'm gonna date out. Ma'am, who's stopping you? Who's stopping you from going over there and doing what you want to do when you want to do it with whoever it is that you want to do it with? Nobody is holding you hostage. Nobody is saying, please, please, please stay with black men. If you was worthy of being getting picked, you would have got picked already. So I believe that we need to have a lower barrier to entry for people that want to get passports and go and live in other countries. That's dusty. If you got a record, get you a pass. Yes. Why are we limiting passports for people that got records and felonies? Those are the people we need to be getting up out of here in the first place. And that doesn't apply to everybody because I know it's some people that serve their time and they own the right and the straight and the narrow. But I believe that passports should be easily issued to people that have a record Sexual predators, passport for you. Passport for you. And we also will give you some incentives to move to a different country. You sassy, what do you identify as? We need to start profiling people, and we need to start manufacturing and doing and engineering a better population of people, because this population has a lot of dust on it. Has a lot of dust on it. Go on over there. Go. Catch you a spirit flight over to Sicily. So, listen, I looked at this report that said that a lot of these guys are going over there and they coming back with these hard HIV diseases. There is a lot of guys that's going over there. Look at you, and you right on. I want to be one too. I want to be one too. I want to be a part of you guys. Don't y'all know that y'all all over there getting with the same chick and passing the same HIV back and forth to each other? I'm going to talk about this later. I'm going to talk because I know that they don't like it. I don't care. You dusty to me. It doesn't make any difference. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to tell the truth no matter whether you like it or not. We gonna get there. Let's continue.
Okay, legal immigrants. So there are plenty of Republicans right now who are waging an internal war within their party, not about illegal immigration, not about millions of illegal immigrants, but about fewer than 100,000 legal immigrants a year. I mean, I think that is what is catching people off guard. Who have, I guess, more recently joined the MAGA coalition.
Right, and I think President Trump has been very supportive of legal immigrants. I mean, his wife's a
And if you want to leave, you don't have to announce it. Just go ahead and leave. No, please come back because you got your passport and you just came back from Sicily. Listen, you don't have to announce it. Just do what you're gonna do and let's make it shake, baby. Don't announce it. Just go.
legal immigrant. He's expressed this sentiment many, many times. You look at Elon Musk being a great example of someone who came here on an H-1B visa himself. And so I think this is very important that we continue to have the H-1B visas. We want to be competitive in the global economy. But the reality is, and President Trump has also talked about this on many occasions, we don't want to see people coming here being educated in our institutions, being that top 0.01% that Elon Musk or that Scott mentions earlier in engineering or in other fields, and being sent to work for Chinese companies or being sent to work for these other companies. And so we want to make sure that we can continue to have those people coming here, working here, and helping us grow, which helps American workers. But at the same time, we've seen a lot of issues with the H-1B visas. We've seen these workers exploited and American workers hurt in this process. And so I think there's a lot of things and a lot of questions that are coming up in this debate that are legitimate questions. And so I think on both sides, there is a lot of positive coming out of this. And I think it's something that needs to be hashed out, not just by Republicans, but by people across the country.
I think it's obviously.
Do y'all think that this is a race issue? Because it's turning into a race issue also.
It's a good debate, but I do question this idea that when we're talking about the scale of this particular immigrant visa program, whether you're actually really talking about something that, you know, you were talking about harm to American workers, that is happening on a scale that is far greater than the H-1B program. Yeah. I think you have to acknowledge that.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, we like the percentage of people in the country right now that are foreign born is the highest it's been in over a century. That's not an H-1B visa problem. That's a southern border problem. So that's, you know, if not 99%, at least 90% of the immigration problem we're talking about. And, you know, Trump, if you recall, actually, when Trump went on the All In podcast, which is the most popular podcast on the tech right.
By a lot of immigrants on that podcast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mostly immigrants on that podcast. Yeah. Successful tech entrepreneur immigrants. Yeah. They asked him right at the beginning of the podcast, this H-1B thing, are you for that? And Trump said, you know what, I think that is a good idea. I think we need to bring those people. But after that podcast, he had to walk those comments back. But he was able to manage that during the campaign. But now that they've won, this is a deep fissure within the party.
He loved that word. He loved that fissure. He said fissure twice. I'm going to have to look that up.
Torres wrote this. The far-right backlash against Indian immigrants confirms what we in the Democratic Party have long known, that the far right is implacably hostile to all forms of non-European immigrants, regardless of legal status. It's not about status. It's about race. The far right prefers purity over prosperity.
I don't agree with anything that is extreme or far anything. I don't like the far left. I don't like the far right. I don't like anything that's too far gone. I don't. I don't like anything that's too far. I don't even like traveling too far away from a gas station because I need to know where the next stop is going to be. I don't like anything too far, anything. And so just because you label yourself conservative, but you too far right to where you're not open to the possibility of learning something different than what you've been taught, then I can't really rock with you because you're too close minded. You're too close minded.